Alright, you guys, this is G-Funk, and I'm here to do a post-fight video for this Danny Garcia versus Lamont Peterson fight. I didn't have time to make a prediction video for this fight, but, I'm just going to come out and say it, man. If I was to make a prediction video and take the time to break things down, look at the styles, and, you know how you do it, those of you who make prediction videos on YouTube, I would have probably picked Danny Garcia, but like I said, I didn't have time to do it. But what I saw last night, I would have been wrong in my prediction, man, because I did not see Danny Garcia win a fight last night at all. I mean, to me, it was a clear-cut win for Lamont Peterson, and I just have to say that right now I am in just complete shock at some of these post-fight videos that I'm seeing from some channels that I'm subscribed to, and these are well-known channels, big channels, and I mean, I'm not going to unsubscribe to any of these guys just because I disagree with them, but I'm just really in shock to hear the things that I'm hearing about this fight. It's like some people, it's just really blowing my mind. Like, I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't score fights based off what I like to see, or a particular style of fighting or a fighter that I like, like I don't score fights that way. I stick to the way it's supposed to be scored, that's ring generalship, clean punching, effective aggressive and defense. That's how I look at it, I don't like I said, I don't look for one particular style. Some of these people that I see here on YouTube, they don't like a certain style, so they'll go against it no matter what. They'll call the fighter names, bad mouth them, whatever you want to call it. That's what they'll do, and they'll just find any little excuse to make sure that style that they don't like, that they don't win the fight. They'll come up with any little thing, in my circle of boxing people that I know outside of YouTube that I watch fights with all the time, there's a few of them that do that. They'll whether it's their favorite fighter or if they just like a certain style, like, oh, I like knockouts. I like the guys who go for the knockouts. So when their guy's in the ring with someone and they can't catch them because they're boxing, and they're moving and using the ring, they'll come up with any excuse, like with this running thing. Again, with this running thing. It really is sad, man. It's sad to hear some of these channels say things like that. Oh, Lamont was just running. He wasn't doing nothing early in the fight. Like, how? He was controlling the ring, okay? It's called ring generalship. The guy was doing what he wanted to do in the ring. If it was up to Danny Garcia, they would have stood toe-to-toe all night, right? I mean, you've seen him literally throwing his hands in the air, telling Lamont, come on, let's fight, come on. That's the type of fight that he wanted. But was that happening early in the fight? No, it wasn't happening, because Lamont Peterson was controlling the action. He was controlling the ring. He was making Danny miss. So you got one check mark there with ring generalship early in the fight. You got check mark number 2 with defense. Danny was not hitting him with clean shots. Now, somebody could say, well, neither was Lamont, but Lamont was, again, controlling the ring. I think he was throwing a pretty good jab. He was not really landing it up top most of the time, but he was hitting him, in the chest and in the body with it, keeping it in his face. And then the clean punching part, again, neither one of them were landing a lot of clean shots early. I could admit to that, all right? But this thinking that people have when they see a fighter coming forward, they say, oh, well, he's the aggressor. Look, man, to be the aggressor, you have to be actually, putting some damage on somebody, for it to be effective aggressiveness, That's when Danny Garcia was not doing that. He might have been coming forward, but he wasn't cutting off the ring. Not one time did I see him cut off the ring when Lamont was moving. Not one time did I see him actually get Lamont against the ropes and start doing some damage, letting off combinations, or trap him in the corner. you know, use his body, you know, to keep him against the ropes and keep him in the corner, you know, do a little dirty boxing. You know, I didn't see none of that. So how can you just automatically give him the aggressor check mark when he's not doing any damage? You know, he's just not. Let's think about it like this then, all right? You want to talk about aggression? When Lamont Peterson decided it was time to switch it up and come forward, right, and fight on the front foot instead of the back foot, he was getting the better of the exchanges. I mean, he was busting Danny up. I mean, Danny's face was a mess after this fight. You know, it was a complete mess. Now I normally, you know, I don't strictly go off of what a fighter's face looks like to say, oh, well, look, he's more beat up, so obviously he lost the fight. No, I mean, you know, things can happen with one punch in boxing. You know, you can hit a guy perfectly in the nose and break his nose. You know, you can hit him in the right spot in the eye, and his eye will be swollen up with just one punch, you know. But watching the fight, as the fight went on and on and on, you could see Danny's face getting more marked up because he was getting hit with good, clean shots from Lamont Peterson. You know, I felt like he was the ring general all night. I felt that he landed the cleaner shots all night. I felt that his defense was on point all night. I mean, again, going back to the face, look at Lamont. I mean, he looked like he wasn't even in a fight last night. You know? I mean, he was not marked up a bit, you know? So I just don't understand it. I mean, if you guys want to just go ahead and gift wrap Danny Garcia the effective aggressor, you know, you can go ahead. But again, go back and watch the fight. Once Peterson decided it was time to walk his man down and close the show, even Sugar Ray Leonard said the same thing. We saw who started to back up then, right? It was Danny Garcia. He was backing Danny Garcia up. There was times even late in the fight where it was looking like Garcia was getting ready to go down. He was looking a little unsure on his legs to me, you know. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't see what a lot of these guys are seeing. I'm sorry, I just don't. And I'm not gonna sit here and make an excuse for Danny Garcia. Like I said, I had texted a few people who asked me what, you know, they were like, who do you think is gonna win? I said, well, I'm probably gonna take Danny Garcia. You know, maybe even by knockout. I said, but you know, I didn't see him win, and I'm not gonna sit here and make an excuse or come up with ways to say, oh, he won it definitely, just to make myself look good or just to make my prediction right. No, man, that's not what I'm about, man. G-Funk is about keeping it real, man, and being honest about these things. And being honest, I did not see Danny Garcia win this fight. I don't see how anybody could have possibly seen him win in the fight. I just don't. You know, and I think that it's a shame that they robbed Lamont Peterson of a win that he earned. And you know, on primetime TV, on network TV, you know, this is a bad look for boxing. You know, I mean, things were going well with this PBC. You know, people were getting excited. More casuals were watching. It was getting a lot of views. But then as soon as the fight's over, I got people texting me like, man, what the hell was that? You know, like, you know, why didn't he win? You know, like, this is bullshit. That's what they were saying, you know. And, you know, I told them, I said, hey, man, look, this is boxing. You know, it happens all the time. I'm used to it. But these casuals are not used to this sort of thing, you know, and this turns them off to it. A lot of them are saying, hey, well, this is why I don't watch. You know, the only reason why I watch is because it was on free TV and, you know, I had nothing to do, whatever, you know. So I just hope that it doesn't turn some of these casuals off who we're starting to get into boxing from this free shows that have been coming on. But, you know, it looks, to me, at least amongst the people I know, it's getting that way. You know, and that's not a good thing. So, well, like I just try to tell them, like, man, you know, this is something that you just have to, you know, deal with. You know, I mean, even other sports, this, you know, this sort of thing could happen. I mean, you know, basketball, football, you know, a bad call can cost a team, you know, the game. So, you know, I mean, things can happen in other sports too, but with boxing, sometimes it's a little more, you know, it's just a little more shocking sometimes, you know, because to me it was a clear-cut win for Peterson, man. And you know, as far as the future goes, I mean, Peterson came in really, you know, really big. I think he was 165 pounds or something like that. You know, I mean, you know, if he wants to move up, you know, his body, you know, he's comfortable moving up. I think to 147. I think he'll carry that weight well. As far as Danny Garcia goes, I don't know, man. I mean, he didn't look too strong last night to me. Like I said, he was the one trying to act like he wanted to brawl, but yet when Lamont Peterson got in his chest, he was backing up, and he still wasn't throwing a lot of punches. So, I don't know what's in this store for him. If he could stay there, I know he's been fighting at catch weights now a couple of times. So, I don't know what's up with Danny Garcia, but I'm sorry guys. I'm disagreeing with a lot of these channels. I didn't see Danny Garcia win the fight last night, and if anybody wants to leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you agree, disagree, that's fine. I'll try my best to get back to you. Really, really busy these days. But let me know what you guys think, man. I'm out.